So today I've come with a set of questions. And these are the questions which were very kind of troubling me throughout. So I thought that who else but to ask you these questions. So my first question which I wanted to ask was that when we reach the age of 50, we are already, kind of set in stone. So what advice would you like to give youngsters, and what kind of specialization should they take? What kind of research should they do? So if you could just throw some light on this.
That's a very important question. And I believe why it is important is by the time you're 50, you have gained enough experience and exposure in your field of expertise. So one should make good use of that. And I would think making good use of that is, to give you an example, one should try to integrate the work of sponsored research and consultancy and, academic research combined into one. So one lesson learned at one place may be utilized at the other place. For example, if you're doing a consultancy, say in a remote area, say rural area, you're doing consultancy, you should be able to make case study out of it. You should be able to write a couple of papers out of it. So whatever you are doing, if I may put it in Hindi, अगर एक तीर में कई शिकार नहीं हुए, अगर एक तीर में कई निशाने नहीं लगे, so then you are just like anybody else. So you should be able to take much more out of what you're doing, and you should learn this art of making out many things out of a single activity. That is one thing I wanted to share. Other thing is one should learn to get into multidisciplinary endeavors. When I say multidisciplinary endeavors, for example, you are a teacher of, say, marketing, and you should join hands with a teacher of engineering or with a teacher of science or with some other teacher, and you should develop programs, they are whether they are consultancy, sponsored research, or even paper writing, or whatever activities you are engaging into, because you complement and supplement each other. Now this kind of realization unfortunately is not there, because our academic or education system is such that we believe in departmentalization, and one department teachers normally do not talk to the other department teachers, which is very sad. So if university has interdisciplinary centers, that's a very beautiful place to work in. And people at the age of 50 are the right people to go there. For example, in an engineering setup, nanotechnology center is there. So you'll get teachers from chemistry, you'll get teachers from chemical engineering, you'll get teachers from metallurgical engineering. Why should not a management teacher go there and contribute in terms of legal, financial, and commercial aspects of anything, whatever is being done? For example, a teacher in a science or engineering or technology institution, if something relating to IPR is being discussed, this teacher can contribute in terms of commercialization of the IPR. So I see a lot of value where teachers should join hands with teachers coming from different backgrounds. And this interdisciplinary approach is what one should get into as one grows older. And combined sociological aspect, physiological aspect, academic aspect, government aspect, policy aspects, try to have some kind of synergy of things coming from various different backgrounds. So that is what I would like to suggest.
Very well said. So you have been time and again emphasizing on interdisciplinary. Would you like to give some tips to academicians that how can they build their networks?
I think when one goes out of the cocoon, no, this is a word I am specifically using because academicians tend to live in their own cocoons. So they don't go out of their comfort zone. And the charity begins at home. So in your own university, if you start moving out, in fact, I give you a very interesting example. I was interviewing, the FMS founder teachers, FMS Delhi University I'm talking about. So I was taking interview of both the two gentlemen who has been the senior most persons who literally set up. One was Professor, what is his name? Abbas Ahmed, right?
हाँ, आबाद अहमद केस स्टडीज बहुत कराई
Professor
हैं सर
Abbas
ने.
Ahmed and Professor Neil Begum, both of them.
हाँ,
I interviewed them separately and I asked them
अच्छा.
this question, that why is it that only FMS Delhi University is the only departmental place where MBA is so successful, and in rest of the country in no other university, including Bombay University started very nicely way back in 70s, or Calcutta University for that matter, and none of the other universities have delivered as well on MBA as FMS Delhi University has done. So the answer was very interesting. So I want to share that. And that's the relevant part of answer to your question as well. Both of them said that because we participated, we delivered, and we contributed for the growth of the university. So like Professor Abad Ahmed became Pro Vice Chancellor. He was heading South Campus at 1.09. Professor Neil Begum became Dean Planning at the university level. So they said when we contributed to the university looked after our department very well. So our faculty was taken care of by the university. So this is a very good lesson I learned while interviewing them, that when a teacher comes out of the department, and this is the first level of breaking of the cocoon. So when the teacher comes out the department level and starts contributing in various other activities of the university, that is the first level of growth. And when he goes beyond university, I think that is the second level of growth. So, and there are ample opportunities, because I also come from academic world, there are ample opportunities. It is individuals, own mindset that they do not come out and they do not contribute to that. So that's first level where this kind of opportunity should be made good use of, and that gives you number of leads and opportunities to go beyond. So that is how the development takes place.
Thank you, sir. Sir, many times we see that the work-life balance is lost, and it happens that women, they are not able to pay more attention at work. Men, they are not able to pay attention at home. So one side or the other becomes dysfunctional. So what is your advice on maintaining a good work-life balance in academics?
I think mode, method, and composition of work-life balance will change from person to person. Of course, as you rightly said, from gender to gender also, and from stage to stage also. At what life of family you are in. For example, your children are very young. I would suggest the female in the house, the lady in the house, should take a break. Maybe sabbatical break, maybe leave without pay or whatever for 1 or 2 years, and use that time in upskilling their own capabilities and skills, etc. Because somebody sitting at home does not mean that one cannot learn or one cannot grow. So you have to change the methodology, and each person has his own temperament and style. To give you an example, when I was investment banker, I used to work on 15th August and 26th January, and I never took a break. When I took a break, every time I took 1 month leave, and then I took my family for long vacation. So that was my way of, making the balance between work life and my personal and family life. So everybody may have different opportunities, different situations. So one will have to, but it is not to be done at the age of 40 or 50 or 60. It is a continuous process. So I believe one must give proper attention to this. Otherwise, to me, success does not mean that you become a CEO, or you become a vice chancellor, or you become an education minister, and at the same time your personal life and family life is completely destroyed. That is not success. That's the wrong way of looking at things. So work-life balance is something one should be very careful about right from the beginning. And between husband and wife, they can take turns in terms of their career break. I would even suggest midlife retirement could not be a bad idea for some of the people who might like to, who are exhausted. For example, corporate executives. Many of them may feel completely burnt out at the age of 34 or 36 or 38, and they need a break, they need a rest. And that's the time to take a break for 1 or 2 years. And I don't agree to most of the people subscribing that this break will affect my career. I don't agree to that at all personally, because I believe a person who's capable, market will always find out that person and give him a job. So you see, it is only people who are incompetent and incapable, they complain on these things. So I think one should be very careful on this and do it appropriately depending upon the circumstances.
Sir,
Any pro?
I wanted to ask you that you have made very successful transitions from a corporate professional to academician, now to a very successful mentor. And I'm very proud to be one of your part-time mentees because आप थोड़ा ज़्यादा समय नहीं देते हैं मुझे. So I just wanted to ask you that how do you feel when you have reached this stage in life, and if you can just reflect a little on your journey.
Professor Vishnav, thank you very much for your very generous comments and observation. And I would put the answer very simply. I don't think I have done anything great or achievement, but nevertheless, I have changed course 2, 3, 4 times in my life completely. And to put it in perspective, I always believed that one has to look at life. One is vertically. Vertically means your responsibility towards your parents because they brought you on this earth, and the second is your children whom you brought on this earth. So these are the 2 points of duty and responsibility: duty towards your parents and responsibility towards your children, whichever way you take it. For example, I thought my responsibility stops at educating them. Beyond that, marriage is not my responsibility. It's for them to decide where they want to marry, how they want to live, etc. So that's what was my thought process. So one is vertical, the second is horizontal plane, and that is what I thought in my life, that I must do anything and everything I wanted to do in my life. Okay, so there is no stopping. For me, the only stopping was financial security, because I don't come from a very rich background. So my father has not left a lot of money for me that I can go and do anything and everything. So I want to secure myself financially first, which I did in my corporate career. Thereafter, the life has been a life of accidents, experiments, adventures. So whatever came my way, I was able to do it. But I'll give you the example more similar to the consultants too, or more similar to a halwai. A halwai has a curry, and in that curry, he can make any sabzi because that curry is there. So what I would say, if you have the basic qualities, you are hardworking, you are punctual, you are intelligent, and you have willingness to deliver, I don't see you cannot change any job. You can be successful anywhere, anytime, just because you have the basic qualities. So you are intelligent, you are willing to deliver, you are committed, you are dedicated, you are punctual. So why will you not be successful? So whenever people say it's very difficult, I am in this line of business, how can I change my job? I really feel very bad about it, because you know, changing a job, no big deal. Changing a career, no big deal. Because of course, in any new place, it takes time to get adjusted, to understand their processes, their systems, their culture. It takes time, but that is not a big deal. Again, if you're intelligent, if you're willing to learn, you can always do that. So I believe this horizontal plane on which I could traverse is not only in terms of career, but in terms of my physical travel. I have traveled all the 5 continents number of times because that's my hobby. So there, I don't see any difficulty. If your mind is open, if your habits are good, why can't anybody do it? It's
Very,
very simple.
very, very, very well said. I read somewhere, sir, that to be successful, you should have skills, knowledge, and attitude. So, what I gathered from you is that skill and knowledge you can always gain, but if you have the right attitude, the whole world is yours. Very
Very
well
true.
said, sir. Thank
Very
you
true.
so
I
much
tell
for
you,
this answer.
most of my students, when they ask me these kind of questions, I always tell them to be successful is very easy. To be happy is not very easy. They say, why? I said, what is success? You are in a corporate job, you have targets. Isko maro, usko pito, aage badho. What is the big deal? I'm like, you have to achieve the target and you are so-called successful. And
Hmm.
success means what? You become CEO, you become this, you become that, and you make a lot of money. But does that give you happiness? Is there work-life balance? Are you training your children properly? Are you serving your parents, or what kind of personal, family, social life you are leading? So what is important is, and then I tell them success is very easy. They say, why? How? I said, all engineering students, their communication skills are very poor. So you better improve upon communication skill. What is the big thing? You improve your soft skills. Very simple. Second, every Indian in every meeting always comes late. You be punctual. You see, you'll feel bad initially that you are the first one to reach every time. But where's the harm? When you reach early, do some personal work. If nothing else, you can do WhatsApping. So you can utilize that time, but you get noticed that you are the punctual person. So, people don't say many things, but they notice it.
Yes, sir.
Everybody notices everything. Nobody is a fool. So it is your conduct, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you deliver. For example, somebody was asking me that how do you plan? How are you able to deliver on time? I said, the moment I get a job, whatever job, whether class assignment or whether university assignment or whether consultancy assignment, the moment I get it, I start working on it. And quite often I finish it off and leave it as a raw material. I don't touch it. When the submission time comes, 1 or 2 days before that, I redo it. And I always submit it one day before the last. This is my style right from my student life. And this gives you, because your brain is always working. So once you have done that rough work, your brain is working. So you can continuously improve upon that. Now, there is no rocket science. All right. So there is a matter of developing this as a habit. So you will never be late. Your work will always be good. And the moment you get the job, that's the time it is fresh in your mind. And you know what is the context. And you are able to work on it very nicely. And just leave it aside. Slowly, slowly, if you get some more ideas, you can put in. Otherwise, one day before the last date, you simply do it very properly, package it nicely, format it nicely, and submit it. And this habit has helped me all my life very well. So I think, again, to say success is very easy, not at all difficult. Changing jobs is very easy. I don't know why people keep crying about these kind of things. Life is very simple. God has made everything very simple.
Very well
We
said,
want to
sir.
complicate. It is our inhibitions. It is our mindset which stops us to grow. Otherwise, everything is plain and simple.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.